Well, welcome Anna. Welcome anybody else who's watching this now or in the future. My name's Alex Stevens. I'm Professor in Criminal Justice at the University of Kent. And the idea, I think, here is that I just talk a bit about my work as a teacher and as a researcher at the University of Kent, the sorts of things I teach on our Criminal Justice and Criminology course, and give people a chance to find a bit more about what we do at the University of Kent. So as I said, I'm a criminologist. I've been working on issues of prisons, crime, drug use since the early 90s. My specialist area is around illicit drug policy, issues of decriminalisation, of how to reduce drug-related deaths, of how to reduce crime that's related to drug use, and that's kept me very busy over the last couple of decades. At the University of Kent, I teach 2 modules on the Criminal Justice and Criminology BA at our Medway campus. The first is a first-year module on foundations of social and criminological research, which is a core module that everyone does on the first year. It introduces students to the ways in which knowledge is produced in social and criminological research using sociological research methods or psychological research methods, because criminology tends to be a mixture of those 2, as well as bringing other research techniques in from law and economics. So we learn about what it is to produce knowledge, what it is to know something in the criminological or social sciences. The more specialist module I teach for 2nd and 3rd years is called Drugs, Crime and Criminal Justice. And so this relates to my own research, which has become even more topical in recent years, partly because we have record levels of drug-related deaths in the UK, and so we need to take urgent steps to reduce those deaths, but also because the sands of drug policy are shifting rapidly around the world. With cannabis, which has been illegal for 50 or more years in most countries in the world, all of a sudden in the United States we're seeing shifts towards legalization. That's also happening in places like Canada and Uruguay, and there's a lot of pressure, discussion about those sort of issues in the UK as well. So it's a fascinating time to be talking about drug policy. And there's also ongoing problems, for example, in our prisons with the use of synthetic cannabis, otherwise known as spice, and government strategies to try and reduce drug-related crime through getting more people into drug treatment. So drugs is a really interesting way into thinking about criminology, because it's so central to the amount of crime that goes on in the UK and how we think about regulating crime. For undergraduates, I also supervise dissertations. So in the 3rd year of our social sciences and our criminal justice and criminology course, many students do a dissertation project where they use the skills they've learned partly in the foundations of social and criminological research to do their own research projects and create their own knowledge. So this year, for example, I've supervised projects on why students do or don't take drugs. And students have studied that, for example, by doing interviews with students and people of the same age who are employed to see if there's different patterns of drug use amongst those groups and why that is. And also have another student who's using the quantitative research methods that she's learned, so using statistical analysis, looking at survey data around the risk factors associated with drug use. That's been really interesting, seeing those students develop their skills and to apply them in producing their own knowledge. And lots of our students take those skills that they learn on those modules into their future careers. So I just had some very good news from a former student of ours who did very well in our course, who's just been given a scholarship to do a master's in criminology at Cambridge University, and they'll pay for her to do that. Other students go on to use their skills in things like compliance offices in banks. I bumped into a student of ours recently in the waiting room of a prison. She wasn't there as an inmate, she was there as a probation officer, because she'd gone on and used the skills that she learned on our course to become a probation officer and was there to interview one of her clients. So the whole range of skills that we provide on these courses that are relevant to various careers, including careers in the criminal justice sector. So if you have any questions, please do get in touch, either write them now, or you can email me at a.w.stevens@kent.ac.uk, or get in touch with Thomas Akwense, our admissions officer, or Aniki Lightman can help you as well. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks.